Conventional wisdom is a slow-acting poison. For decades, the financial establishment has whispered the same tired lie into our ears. Work for 40 years, sacrifice your youth, save 10% of your paycheck, and hope, just hope, that the global markets don't implode before you turn 65. It was sold to us as a plan. It was packaged as wisdom. It was handed down from generation to generation like a sacred truth. But in 2026, waiting 40 years isn't just a boring strategy. It is a catastrophic gamble. With real-world inflation eroding 7% of your purchasing power annually, and the middle-class squeeze tighter than at any point in American history, the traditional retirement age has become a mathematical myth. The Social Security Administration itself projects that by 2034, benefits will be cut by 23% unless dramatic reforms are made. The safety net that your grandparents relied upon is fraying at every thread. Most people will never retire. They will simply stop working when they are no longer useful to the machine. But what if I told you that in 2026, a $60,000 salary is actually the perfect fuel to exit the rat race in exactly 10 years? Not $60,000 invested in a hedge fund, not $60,000 inherited from a wealthy relative, $60,000 earned in a regular job, with the right framework applied with surgical precision. It is not about how much you earn. It is about how effectively you exploit the hidden gaps in the modern economy. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on the 10-year exit strategy. We are going to deconstruct the math of FIRE in a high-inflation world, analyze the practical psychology of anti-consumerism, and reveal the specific asymmetric assets that can replace your 9-to-5 income by 2036. The window is closing. Every month you wait, inflation takes another bite. Every year of inaction is a year of compounding you will never get back. Welcome to the Wealth Compass. Let's find your exit. Most people are staring at the wrong set of numbers. They are chasing a salary increase that will never be large enough. They are waiting for a bonus that will disappear into lifestyle inflation. They are dreaming of an inheritance that may never arrive. They are obsessed with reaching $1 million portfolio or a net worth figure that feels like a mountain. In reality, retirement is not a dollar amount. It is a savings rate percentage, and that changes everything. Let's look at the brutal math that Economics Explained often highlights. If you save 10% of your income, you have to work 9 years to pay for just 1 year of living expenses. At a 15% savings rate, you work 43 years before you can retire. At 20%, 37 years. At that rate, you are a slave for half a century. Your best years, your 30s, your 40s, your peak energy and health, consumed entirely by a system that rewards your compliance and punishes your independence. But if you can bridge the gap to a 50% savings rate, you only need to work 1 year to pay for 1 year of living. The timeline collapses from 40 years to just 17. Push to 60% and you retire in 12 years. 70% and the exit arrives in under 9 years. On a $60,000 salary in 2026, this sounds like a fantasy. But the aggressive gap strategy isn't about living like a monk. It is about identifying and eliminating invisible taxes, the silent killers of your financial freedom that nobody talks about. We are talking about the big 3 killers: housing, transport, and subscriptions. In 2026, the average American spends 34% of their income just to have a roof over their head. Another 16% goes to transportation, car payments, insurance, fuel, maintenance. And the average professional now spends $500 a month on digital subscriptions they barely use. That is 50% of your income gone before you buy a single share of stock. By utilizing house hacking, renting out a room or unit in your primary residence, or the remote geo-arbitrage model, where you earn in dollars but spend in a lower-cost jurisdiction like Lisbon, Medellin, or Chiang Mai, you can slash your housing cost to zero or even turn it into a monthly profit center. A house hacker in Austin earning $60,000 who rents out 2 bedrooms at $1,200 each effectively reduces their personal housing cost to zero. That single move shifts their savings rate from 20% to 45% overnight. If you don't control your overhead, your $60,000 salary is a death sentence for your freedom. We are going to analyze how to freeze your lifestyle at the $40,000 level while your income scales, creating a compounding engine that the banks cannot stop. Here is a hard truth you won't hear from your local bank manager. You cannot save your way to retirement on $60,000. Not in 2026, not with inflation running at 7%, not with housing costs absorbing a third of your take-home pay. You have to invest your way there, and the vehicles you choose in the next 36 months will determine whether you exit in 10 years or remain trapped for 40. The old 60-40 portfolio, 60% stocks, 40% bonds, is officially dead. In a world where 10-year Treasury yields can barely outpace reported inflation, bonds are not a safety net. They are a slow drain. In the volatile landscape of 2026, we are witnessing the great asset rotation. To retire in a decade, your money must work significantly harder than you do. We look at the plain bagel perspective on risk. Staying safe in your first 5 years is actually the riskiest move you can possibly make. Why? Because you lack the time leverage to recover from slow growth. A 28-year-old who invests aggressively and loses 30% in year 2 still has 8 years of compounding to recover and surpass. A 28-year-old who plays it safe earns 4% annually and retires at 67. The math is brutal, and it does not negotiate. In 2026, high-yield cash is your defensive shield, but growth equity and hard assets are your offensive weapons. We are seeing a shift into asymmetric bets, investments where the downside is capped, but the upside is exponential. This includes Bitcoin as a digital gold play, a provably scarce asset in a world of infinite money printing. But more importantly, it includes tokenized cash flow assets. Imagine owning a 1% share in a high-traffic AI SaaS product that generates $40,000 a month in recurring revenue, or a fractional piece of a rental property in Nashville that pays you passive income in real time directly to your digital wallet. This is how you 10 times your timeline. You aren't just buying shares of a company, you are buying pieces of the new infrastructure that the entire global economy is being rebuilt upon. If your portfolio looks like it belongs in 1995, your retirement date will stay stuck in 2065. The investor who held only treasury bonds in 2020 watched inflation destroy 30% of their real purchasing power by 2024. The investor who rotated into hard assets and growth equity doubled their net worth in the same period. The wealth compass favors the bold who rotate early. Relying on a single salary in 2026 is like flying a plane with one engine during a storm. One company restructuring, one layoff announcement, one AI automation wave rolling through your department, and your entire 10-year plan evaporates overnight. To hit the 10-year mark with certainty, you need to decouple your time from your income. You need redundancy built into your financial architecture before you need it. This is the second engine. In the pre-AI era, building a side business took thousands of hours and significant capital. A content channel required expensive cameras, editors, and marketing budgets. An agency required office space, employees, and years of relationship building. A software product required a development team and six-figure funding. In 2026, the cost of creation has dropped to near zero. Every barrier that once protected established businesses from competition has been dissolved by artificial intelligence. Whether it is leveraging large language models to build a specialized service business that runs on 4 hours a week, or using generative tools to create digital assets, courses, templates, software, content that sell while you sleep, the barrier to entry has completely vanished. The secret isn't just making more money, it is keeping your expenses frozen at that $60,000 baseline while the second engine revs up to full power. This is what practical psychology calls success delay. Most people, when they make an extra $10,000, buy a better car. They upgrade their apartment. They book a more expensive vacation. The navigator buys more freedom. They funnel that $10,000 directly into income-producing assets. They treat every dollar of second engine income as rocket fuel for their exit timeline, not as a reward for current comfort. Data shows that those who successfully retire early don't have higher salaries. They have higher leverage ratios. They use AI to do the work of 3 employees and invest the difference into assets that thrive in the new economy. A single individual in 2026 can realistically operate a content business, a digital product store, and a consulting service simultaneously, using AI tools that cost less than $100 a month to run. You are not a worker. You are a manager of your own personal sovereign fund. If you don't build your second engine now, you will be forced to work until the first one fails. And in the AI economy, the first engine is failing faster than any previous generation has ever experienced. Retiring in 10 years isn't a pipe dream. It is a math problem that has already been solved. It has been solved by teachers and nurses and middle managers who decided to treat their financial life with the same seriousness they gave their careers. By 2036, the global economy will be unrecognizable. Artificial intelligence will have restructured entire industries. The traditional employment model will look as outdated as the assembly line. The question is not whether the world will change. It is whether you will be a passenger or the pilot of that change. The 2026 Wealth Compass isn't just about accumulating digital digits in a bank account. It is about reclaiming the only asset you can never buy back: your time. The Tuesday afternoon you could spend with your children. The February morning you could spend in a cafe in Lisbon instead of a fluorescent cubicle. The decade of your 50s that you could spend building a legacy instead of servicing a job description. Every morning you wake up and trade your hours for a paycheck, you are selling a piece of your life that is gone forever. Start today, not next month when your budget feels more comfortable, not next year when the market looks more stable. Today. Track your freedom number with clinical precision. Your freedom number is the annual passive income required to cover your living expenses completely. For most Americans living on $40,000 a year, that number is $40,000 in passive annual income. That is not a fantasy. That is a target. And every decision you make from this moment forward either moves you toward it or away from it. Slash the lifestyle tax that the marketing machine wants you to pay. Cancel the subscriptions that are not generating income or building a skill. Downsize the vehicle that is draining $400 a month in payments and insurance. Redirect every free dollar into assets that don't just sit there, but grow and breathe with the new economy. The difference between the person who retires at 45 and the person who retires at 67 is rarely intelligence. It is rarely income. it is almost always the moment they decided to start. If you are ready to take the exit ramp from the rat race and join a community of people who refuse to be victims of inflation, hit that subscribe button. Every week on the Wealth Compass, we break down the exact frameworks, the precise asset rotations, and the psychological strategies that separate the financially free from the financially trapped. We are building the map to a future that the establishment doesn't want you to see. Your journey to freedom starts with a single turn of the compass. I am the Wealth Compass narrator. Thank you for watching.